Live from WQAD, this is News 8's Good Morning Quad Cities.
Up close and personal, the new program that lets Niabi's new visitors get a unique perspective of the animals.
Looks like a hungry animal.
Right.
Keep it on the other side of the bars. This is a live look from our Eagle Eye in downtown Davenport as we hope for like a little bit of a drying spell. That'd be kind of nice.
Would be very nice. Thank you for joining us for our first look at the news. I'm Julie Sis.
I'm Jim Mertens. This is Good Morning Quad Cities at 4:30.
And I'm Cassie Hyder with good news actually in the forecast
Good.
today. You were talking about a dry spell. Well, I think today will be mostly dry. There's a chance for rain, but it's pretty small. Right now it's definitely dry out there. We've got a temperature of 57 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Wind is nice and calm, so it's pleasantly cool outside. We're at 61 in Muscatine, down to 55 in Sterling, and just 60 degrees right now in Kewanee. You can see satellite and radar is pretty quiet right now, just a few clouds passing on through. It's all ahead of a front that will move through later today. It's going to be a while before we do see that chance of rain. But like I mentioned, that chance of rain is actually pretty small. It is there, however, so an umbrella is not a bad idea just in case. Otherwise, temperatures will be pretty seasonal, and we are looking for a warm-up in the days ahead, and we'll talk about how warm it's going to get coming up.
All right, thanks, Cassie.
Controversial plans for a St. Ambrose sports complex are one step closer to reality. Last night, the Davenport City Council gave the stadium plan the initial okay to move St. Ambrose's plan ahead to second consideration. Alderman also added 3 more conditions to the proposal, including a tailgating policy and a commitment to improve stormwater management in the area. St. Ambrose leaders say they're okay with all those stipulations and hope the compromises continue.
I think we're happy with this. As I think you heard from some of the council members, this is another 4-week process, so a lot of work to do yet, and we would still like to work with the neighbors to address any concerns they have.
This was just the first vote on the stadium plan. It'll take 2 more votes before a final decision is made.
Organizers of the Komen Race for the Cure say they need more people to participate in the race this year. Right now, they are about 1,000 participants behind last year's numbers. Event organizers attribute the low numbers to registration glitches and an increase for profit races in the area.
Race for the Cure is Komen's largest fundraiser, and it's very important that people register to help us fund mammograms and other breast health services for women in need. 75% of the funds that we raise do stay in our 8-county service area, so they're helping women that you know.
The 25th Race for the Cure set for this Saturday at the iWireless Center at 8 a.m. There is still time to register. You could sign up at KomenQuadCities.org until 7 p.m. on Friday. You could sign up in person at packet pickups at the iWireless Center from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Friday night.
Police have arrested a 34-year-old man in Clinton after a 3-hour standoff with police. Police and emergency vehicles gathered at an apartment building near 18th Street and 27th Avenue around 5 last night. Police say they were serving an arrest warrant to a man named Nicholas Fox. Once they entered the home, they realized the man was armed. Nearby homes evacuated. Fox later surrendered peacefully to police.
New details are emerging about the deadly school shooting in Oregon. Police have identified the gunman as 15-year-old freshman Jared Michael Paget. People who knew him say he was obsessed with guns. Paget shot and killed 14-year-old Emilio Hoffman. Authorities have not found a link between Paget and Hoffman. Police say that the teenager was heavily armed and exchanged gunfire with an officer before taking his own life. Several police departments will continue training today for an active shooter situation. Practice was held at Macomb High School yesterday. Officers were challenged to locate the shooter, take him down, and assess any injuries on site. To make the event more realistic, officers wore protective vests and glasses. While officers say it's only training, they know it could become a reality.
These type of situations are always going to happen. It's just that we have to be prepared and we have to train as a community so that if it does happen here, we're ready.
The goal of the training is to get officers from different branches and departments to work well as a team. The training will continue into tomorrow.
There's a renewed push to improve safety along Highway 34 in Henderson County. Residents want it expanded to 4 lanes. And as News 8's John David now reports, residents say the unfinished project is actually dangerous for drivers.
This dangerous stretch of Highway 34 is deadly, still painful for Michelle Schnicker.
I can't begin to tell you the wrenching pain that was.
The 2-lane road is responsible for a dozen deaths during a decade. Her husband Douglas was struck head-on by a semi that crossed the center line.
He said that my husband had died on the highway at the scene. And and I couldn't believe it.
That's why more than 100 residents, businesses, and elected officials came to Biggsville. The Highway 34 Coalition wants to convert the 20-mile section to 4 lanes by 2020.
I'm a little nervous. I'm a little scared. I don't really want to die on my way to work.
While this $40.5 million segment should be ready in November, it's just the start. But the projects need funding for nearly 19 more miles.
Proactively saving lives, kids, adults, any age, it's hard to walk away from that instead of taking care of it.
That partnership must strengthen to finish 20 miles by 2020. It will take state and federal support to get the job done. The price tag tops $235 million, and it gets more expensive each day. But as truck traffic increases, the call for action is stronger.
We need to bridge our communities, both Iowa and Illinois. We are a united community.
A timely reminder to make Highway 34 safer for drivers. In Biggsville, Illinois, John David, WQAD News 8.
The coalition is pushing to get federal highway funding and renewed money from the state of Illinois as well. Niabi Zoo is about to offer a program where you can stand just feet away from a lion.
Visitors can see the trainers interact with the animals like you've never seen before. And News 8's Jonathan Ketz has a preview.
Jackson. Down.
Jessica Lynch Porter works with this jaguar on a regular basis.
Jackson, touch.
But not even she can walk into the cage at the same time that the animals are there.
Off.
Why can't she be?
Because I wouldn't go home at night. Literally.
Jessica has to do all her work from the same spot that we did, outside the cage with just a pole that can go inside.
Target. They are still wild animals. Even though they're in a zoo setting, they're still wild animals.
But there is a reason that Jessica does all this.
Shift.
She has to train the snow leopard like this to make sure that they're healthy.
Ruka, touch.
And when she actually has to inject the tail of this animal, it knows exactly what to do.
So every time they hear the whistle with training, it's a good. So you're literally blowing the whistle, you're rolling the meatballs, so they always know that when they hear that whistle, there's a food reinforcement coming.
But as you may be able to hear, there is just one more animal that is in this den.
All right, so you've seen Jackson, you've also seen the snow leopard that's behind us as well, but one of the other animals that's inside here is this, this big lion behind us. This is Mufasa, and according to Jessica, though, even though it looks bigger, Mufasa is not much different to take care of than the other animals in here.
Each animal is its own, basically has its own personality, just like we all do. So you have to cater to their different personalities, and you have to take all of that into consideration. But I can't let them out yet.
And that is exactly why Jessica trains these animals 3 days a week.
Off. Bench.
And even though the lions aren't roaming their homeland anymore, they can still roar like they normally would. Jonathan Ketz, WQAD, News 8.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. Zoo workers say the new program will start later this month, but there's no word on how much it will cost just yet. Still ahead of Good Morning Quad City's Making Dinner Time Family Time. How a new app forces kids to take a break from technology.
You need an app for this, huh?
Sure do.
Plus building cars with condiments. How ketchup is being used in the auto industry.
And skies are very quiet right now, but there is a chance of storms in the forecast when we could see our best chance coming up.
You're watching Good Morning Quad Cities with Jim Mertens and Julie Sisk.